Hot, 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 hot.
There it is. This is bad news. My God. Anything could happen.
I'll watch the video later. They try mopping this.
Welcome once again to Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Joey only sitting up here in sunny Wells, British Columbia. Yeah, we did have a little incident yesterday where a dry thunderstorm started a little fire over on Burns Mountain again. And this time I left town. I drove out of town yesterday. I didn't have things to do. And I said, it's going to happen because I'm leaving town today. I knew it, and that's what happened, but that's the comedy of my life. Anyways, I got some good footage at Hickson Falls because the weather's been so beautiful. What do you want to do but go hang around the great water holes, swimming holes, and whatnot of the Caribou? And it's not going to get any worse, friends. In fact, it's going to get hotter again. Maybe we'll even eclipse the all-time September record, perhaps nationally. We're going to have some very high temperatures in southern British Columbia. There's already heat warnings in effect there. Let's have a look at all the details. Hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, help me grow this channel. I've been demonetized on Facebook again, so I'm back to relying on YouTube and Patreon as my only income providers outside of selling firewood and things I do around here. So all that support is really appreciated. The algorithm support when you make a comment, this, that, and the other. Buy me a coffee there. Hit the thanks button if you want to support the channel even further. Let's get on with the details. All right, this is pretty wild. First of all, we got the monthly anomaly temperature forecast for you. The probability of above average temperatures through the month, and BC is in the red up and down, even into the Yukon, spilling over a little into the Northwest Territories, picking up again there. As you go into northern Quebec and Newfoundland, and of course some of those areas in the northern prairies and in Northwest Territories may be slightly above average as well for temperatures. So we got a warm September coming. How long it stays, how warm is still up for debate, but we tend to believe that the next week and more is going to be very, 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 very nice. Because we have a look at what the jet stream is doing right now. We see it's very warm in the east. It's very warm in BC. Some bad weather going through the prairies right now. And that bad weather is going to congregate itself over to the Ontario, move itself on east, where they're going to have a deterioration in their weather while we remain nice through the next maybe 9 days. That's what this graph more or less shows. You can see how the high pressure is really ridging up into British Columbia. You can see how the bad weather is tanking down into the east, and you can tell that the United States is pretty hot. Although they may see some precip at the end of this, there's some uncertainty as to where things go from here, as often is in the weather world, but we'll try our best to give ourselves an understanding today. BC Wildfire Service was saying this morning in the past 24 hours there was 34 new wildfires at that time. We got some new reports this afternoon. 3 exceed 1 hectare at the largest, C51843, estimated at 12 of the new wildfires. 6 are in the Caribou Fire Center. 12 in Coastal Fire Center. A lot of lightning there yesterday, of course, and 11 in Kamloops Fire Center. 1,031 lightning strikes were recorded yesterday. 602 occurred in the Caribou Fire Center. That's mostly in the South Chilcotin is where that mostly was. Chilcotin, South Chilcotin, along the interior side of the mountains especially. Because of the heat and all the lightning strikes, it's easy to assume that there'll be many more fires detected in the next coming days. They'll wake up or show themselves or finally burn into something that allows them to stand up a little bit. Record-breaking 10-day heat wave with temperatures 5-6 degrees above seasonal norms left fuels highly susceptible to ignition. Another day of thunderstorms is anticipated across the southern interior. That's been going on today a little bit, with the southeast region continuing to be a hot spot for lightning as well. Lightning accompanied by some precipitation is forecast for the Coastal Fire Center, which continues to pose a risk of dry lightning. Smoke remains a challenge over the northeast and Caribou. Thick smoke expected to push down to Prince George Tuesday morning. Smoke's anticipated to become denser in the Caribou as early as Monday evening. It's a little bit denser today already for sure. Given the unseasonably high temperatures, prolonged drying, the potential for new wildfire starts remains very high. Exercise caution. Do not start campfires. 87 fires declared out in the last 7 days. 43 new ones, up to 166 on the dashboard right now. Again, most of those, some new ones in Vancouver Island, a bunch up the coast, some in the Chilcotin, South Caribou, areas like that. And 40% of them are under control, 43% out of control. And of those, 126 of them were caused by lightning. That's 76% of the wildfires currently going. Well, let's look at the bad news battle board for everything going on west of Lake Superior. That's generally as far as I want to forecast. Lots of people are good at this in Ontario. So we got the heat warning in British Columbia now in effect. Temperatures reaching 35 degrees Celsius combined with overnight lows near 18 are expected for at least the next 4 days. This is a heat warning. Temperatures are very high. There's a moderate risk to public health. Now, through midweek, especially for Fraser Canyon and South Thompson. Do I think we could hit 40 Celsius down there in Lytton again? I absolutely do. I believe that's quite possible. The ridge of high pressure anchored over BC is bringing very high temperatures to the region this week. We could see all-time records broken. We can see some of the air quality advisories through Caribou, Prince George, ranging up into the Peace and on north, and heat warning as well for the next 3 days expected into the 30s up in the north coast. That includes Terrace. Can you believe that? Terrace seeing 30 Celsius at this time of year. That is unbelievable. Heat warnings in Alberta as well, and Saskatchewan, plus some air quality warnings as well. Alberta is looking at 30 Celsius expected again on Wednesday. Right, temperature will be cooler temporarily, but the heat will pick back up. I'm stumbling over my own words. Air quality warning in Saskatchewan going on. Air quality warning in northern Alberta. Air quality warnings where fires are really been torching off in the Northwest Territories where it's been extremely stupidly hot. And then we have severe thunderstorm watches happening currently in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. A number of severe thunderstorms on the board right now. By the time most of you watch this, will be over. But just to show you, there's Toonie-sized hail in that one going on. Thunderstorm warning as you get over to Lake Winnipeg. That's got Toonie-sized hail possible in that one. Southern Manitoba also seeing some severe thunderstorm warnings where Toonie-sized hail is possible as well in a couple of these very, very strong severe thunderstorms. Ping-pong-sized hail even in this one. Maybe it's not as hot as it was, but we're still breaking temperatures, still breaking records. Yesterday on the 31st, we saw records broken in Blue River, barely. Burns Lake hit close to 30, 29.3. Mackenzie got to 29.4, setting new records there. Manitoba seeing some high temperature records as well, 32.5 in Gillam. That just smashes their old record, 31.9 in Norway House, 32.7 smashing the old record in Thompson. Even Ontario seeing a couple heat warnings broken at Pickle Lake and Big Trout Lake. It's been unseasonably hot in many places. Hot! Where's this heat going? Well, we already looked at our jet stream animation, so we know that this bad weather that's trying to form itself over here near Hudson Bay sort of is going to slide its way through Ontario and deteriorate their temperature there fast. So although it's very, very hot right now out there, that will moderate quickly in the next few days, while BC is going to see the temperatures spiking upwards, being even hotter, maybe record temperatures. Well, I mean, we've been breaking records every day, so let's just say record-breaking temperatures. How far can we go breaking records? Well, Wednesday's got a good shot, I think, to break some all-time highs. There you're seeing late midweek the Ontario weather deteriorating. Well, southern Saskatchewan remains pretty warm. Southern Alberta, most of Alberta remains pretty warm. Manitoba, a little bit of an outlier. Some warmer weather in eastern Manitoba, maybe, but BC staying hot. We're the king of the heat right now. In through the weekend, hot, very hot. Looking over just below us in Washington State there, especially that interior area, that belt that kind of goes from a Soyuz on down, you know, it's going to be extremely hot down there. You can see that reflect in some of these temperatures. Heat across the southern United States, across Florida, across down to Texas. Really, really extreme heat still. And let's get to next weekend, about a week out now, and you can see still weather is really deteriorated in the eastern half of the country. Well, it remains pretty nice in British Columbia till at least the 9th and maybe beyond. We have some disagreements model-wise what happens beyond this. So I think we'll say safely that the next 9 to 10 days could be extremely and stupidly hot. So just looking at where we are right now, today, Monday, Labor Day, we have 38 Celsius reported in Princeton right now. Further down south, so Lytton is reporting 38 Celsius right now. Do they have a chance at cracking 40 this week? Yeah, I think so, especially as we get towards Wednesday. So very, very hot today. Very hot up and down most of BC, except for down by Vancouver and southern Vancouver Island, where they've had some thunderstorm activity. Looking like it's going to be very, very warm on Tuesday again. Things will start cooling down eventually the further you go east, but Tuesday and Wednesday will be still very warm for Alberta. Maybe less so on Tuesday than Wednesday. As you can see, we have very, very, very hot temperatures on Tuesday afternoon. That's at 5 o'clock. What if we just go back to 3? You can see we're into the 37 potential for Kamloops. Could we see 40 in a place like Lytton? Yeah. Could we see the all-time September temperature in Canada record broken? It's possible. It's possible. That's what we've been doing a lot. Unfortunately, this modeling system only goes a few days ahead. It's high res, but as you can see, by Wednesday morning at 11 a.m., we already have temperatures spiking up to either the mid-20s the further you go north, or already 30 or above as you go further south. So we'll switch over to ECMWF modeling just to give ourselves a clue here. Go a little bit further on Wednesday afternoon. It's going to be extremely hot Wednesday afternoon, into the 30s, pretty much everywhere south of Prince George, and we are looking at high 30s possibly in the southern interior. Going to be stupidly hot, maybe record-breaking temperatures. Thursday afternoon, still very, very hot. Very, very hot by the weekend. Very, very hot Friday. Very warm still Saturday afternoon, into the 30s for most places, into the mid to high 30s, potentially even in the southern interior. Very, very warm. This is active burning weather, active fire weather. We're going to see a whole lot of thunderstorms start breaking out sometime to resolve this. That's where the disagreements and models are going to start coming in as to where things are going from here. How long does this temperature stick around? ECMWF seems to think that this thunderstorm outbreak is going to become huge and massive, going to last for a bunch of days, and that's going to reset our temperatures and maybe have us back to more seasonal as we get further into September with the odd spike of temperature. Yeah, still showing that. How long that lasts on the 13th for, maybe not very long, but we're looking at very warm, very warm, very warm, hot, 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 hot. Hope that helps you decide what you're going to do with this work week and how you're going to live your life and get ready for the winter, because you got lots of time right now, lots of nice weather. But enjoy this period of calm, cool weather while you can. We got Northern Lights explosion probably going to be going off tonight, so make sure you are looking skyward if you are out there after dark. We're getting to a better time of year for Northern Lights viewing because the days are getting a little shorter now. We have more nighttime, and it's getting darker properly at night when it does get dark. Okay, that's the show. Hit like, share, subscribe, become a channel member if you want to help this guy out. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks so much. Bye now.